head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Laz. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Saints Nation, welcome back to the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. Of course, your home for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. And we're up with some cLoL League of Legends here this afternoon versus Binghamton University. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners, alongside Matt Avery once again. Thank you for grinding out all this commentary with me today. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here for some more League of Legends. Definitely with the, I believe it's OPSC, or cLoL, my sake.
There's so many of them
today. Yeah, we have so many we're in, but looking to improve that 2-1 score today for the Saints today, and hoping for a banger series.
Absolutely, and as we could probably hear in the background, the picks and bans for game number 1, just in progress, or just in the process of getting started, actually. These teams not going to be wasting any time. Of course, your hometown squad here tonight, the St. Clair team. We've got Cooper up in the top lane alongside Active Force in the jungle, Frez in the mid lane, Lazzy on AD carry, and Mienzo playing support. Then on the side of our opponents here tonight, the Binghamton University Bearcats. I absolutely love that name. We have the top laner of Exile. We have Metal Hydra in jungle, Black Armored in mid lane, Darkness Jax. I mean, our marketers wanted to see Jax, but at least we have one on the other team now. Darkness Jax on AD carry, and then I almost said Shamu. Shamui? How do we want to pronounce that one today?
Let's go with Shimui.
Shamui, okay.
We're just going to be jumping straight into this real fast. So on the side of Binghamton, we're going to have Anivia, Olaf, and Volibear taken away from the side of St. Clair. And it's looking like some target bans coming out from St. Clair with the Riven, Skarner, and Yone.
We were taking a look at the OPGG a little bit earlier, and of course Metal Hydra is a Masters jungler, if I recall correctly, and
yes.
At least one of the things I saw recently in his OPGG match history was a lot of Skarner. So I do like the fact that St. Clair taking that off the board. That being said though, Trundle, a very non-flashy but solid pick. And then we're looking at the top lane possibly here for the next pick on the side of Binghamton.
And it's going to be the Ornn coming out to go along with the Trundle for that front line. I like this with the 2 tanks coming out. St. Clair is going to pick up that Vayne for Lazzy to go into the Kai'Sa. More of that tank shredder pick. And we've seen Lazzy, I believe, once or twice on it this season already. So not too bad on it. And one of the mid lane bans coming out for Black Armored here will be that TF, followed by the Lulu, so it does not get paired alongside with this Vayne. One of the stronger bot lane duos with Vayne.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what else do we see coming out here for St. Clair in regards to that final ban? Something meta-specific, something maybe a little bit more targeted? We'll find out momentarily. Galio just overround solid, so don't blame Saints taking that one off the board. They don't want to get taunted. Don't want that the vein of Lassy's to get caught out with the big old dive that Galio is known for.
Yeah, all around, seems the last 2 are those meta picks, just getting that global pressure off the board, so they don't have anything. It's going to be the Seraphine coming out from the side of Binghamton. More of an interesting pick, assuming it may have went support or mid lane, but I don't believe I've seen Frez or Mienzo play.
No.
So like a mage, so at least in this case, a mage healing. So
yeah, I think I've only seen it once. Like once from Lazzy a long time ago. We've seen a Swain game, and I don't think that went very well. So it's been 80 carries ever since there for him for the most part.
It's gonna be that Recon picked up for Mienzo, saving the last pick for Frez and Binghamton looking. Yeah, have that last pick, keep it for the counter pick. If I'm gonna be predict anything, I'm most likely gonna say Orianna, but
it would make sense looking at how this is right here right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see the Rel get paired up with Kai'Sa for Shamui down in the bot lane with Darkness Jax. So strong bot lane nonetheless. And Yasuo being covered here by Black Armored. Is he looking to pull some stylish stuff? Might get to see it here today, unless they completely bait and switch. We'll see in a moment.
Well, I feel like it's gonna be a bait because I can see only really pairing with that Ornn, but going down to 0 seconds, they're gonna actually lock in the Yasuo. Very interesting pick coming in. Now let's see. We can see what Frizz has in that little pool of his that can go against the Yasuo. I still think Orianna's not a bad pick into this. She has safe. Yeah, it's a safe pick, especially with Phase Rush, be able to proc it. Mordekaiser actually coming out for mid lane, I believe, unless they're swapping Renekton there. Very interesting. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna swap that Renekton mid lane.
What on earth? Alright, that's one way to change this up a little bit. I did not see that coming in the slightest. I cannot wait to pick the coach's brain on this one, because this seems so weird. If anything, like we were kind of talking about, I was expecting maybe just a safe mage pick, if anything, like something like an Orianna that can just farm up and wait till late game, avoid Yasuo's shenanigans. But no, they're just going in guns blazing up against Black Armored here. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
Yeah, and especially usually when they have this Renekton Nunu, they opt to go for this safe mid lane mage that can bring out massive damage in CC, which is what the Orianna usually is for Prez. But interesting to see how he does against this, doing that double melee matchup. So Renekton, I believe, can actually punish Yasuo very heavily. So definitely something to watch for.
Absolutely. And it'll be so weird. Like, because normally we're used to seeing Frez always on, like, mages or some sort, unless it's a Fizz and we're just like an assassin or whatever. But still completely out of left field. Definitely looking forward to this one momentarily.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually have to wait too long here. We do get to pick the coach's brain on this pick as we hop on over to Coach's Corner with Coach Shadi Hannah. Zeddy, you with us? Maybe, maybe not.
Hello?
Hey, there he is. Okay, perfect. Let's hop on over. Zeddy is here with us. Got a couple moments to kill here as we wait for the spectator delay to go on down here. So, Renekton mid lane, what the heck?
We went into this draft with a pretty decent understanding of what type of champs they like to pick. Obviously, with cLoL, we have OPGGs available, and they have ours as well. So the bans, the first phase bans, were all really targeted. Renekton is a pick that we play a lot of, usually in the top lane. But it's something we discussed running mid lane, and it's a really good counter to Yasuo. Yasuo's biggest weakness is point and click CC. He struggles against champs like Annie. He struggles against champs like Pantheon, Renekton, anything that can just lock him down, because his whole ability is to be super mobile with his dash on his E. But if you can just point and click him and stun him, then he just dies because he doesn't have a lot of health anyways. So the Renekton is just a really strong pick into Yasuo. It's a very popular response to Yasuo top lanes. We decided we wanted to run it mid, kind of a lethality focus, and it also helps us accelerate our tempo in the early game. Combining that with the Nunu in the jungle should be really easy gank setup, and we feel like we can really strongly respond to their mid lane pressure with this pick.
Interesting, interesting. Matt, you got something for Zeddy moving forward here?
I kind of wanted to stick on this Renekton pick of, like, assuming that you guys have been using this Renekton in mid lane a couple times in your scrims behind the scenes. How comfortable is you say Frez is on this pick?
This is actually our first time running it in a team environment, but Frez has talked about it a number of times, and this is we're kind of just going off of instinct here. Like, we know it's a good pick, we know it's a good response, we know it's easy to execute, and it's really going to be up to how he ends up piloting it.
Interesting, interesting. Now the rest of the squad here on the side of Binghamton seems rather standard for the most part. Is there? I know in past coaches' corners we've talked about your plays being on a timer or your team compositions being on a timer. Do you have the advantage in regards to late game here, or do you think that you might be running out of time like towards the mid game?
I actually think we won draft pretty hard, and the only reason I say that is because not only do we have winning lanes in our side lanes, which is where this team likes to focus a lot of their pressure, but our bot lane actually is one of the hardest scaling AD carries in the game, if not arguably the most hardest scaling late game AD carry in the game. So we have this situation where we have a late game scaling top lane, with a really powerful early game mid lane and a really powerful early game jungler. You have this like 2-man rotation that can kind of put pressure into those side lanes and kind of go middle out, like from the mid lane into the side lanes to put that pressure and ease off some of the tension in those side lanes. With that being said, bot lane is a pretty safe lane. Both Vayne and Rakan are pretty mobile, and they should be able to dodge a lot of Rel's engage. And Mordekaiser just straight up wins the 1v1 against Ornn. So really, it's going to come down to how the junglers impact this game. A lot of pressure is going to be on the enemy Trundle. A lot of pressure is going to be on Active Force with the Nunu. But we have an easier execution with our draft, and we have better scaling into the late game. So I honestly think that we're actually in a really good spot going into 25, 30, 35 minutes.
That makes sense. Matt, you got another?
No, I think I think we covered everything.
Right on. Then I have one final question here. With Metal Hydra specifically, of course, the Masters jungler. Is there anything specific you're worried about? Going to try maybe slow him down a little bit in the jungle, or just see what you can do as things go on?
We don't really stress the ranks too much. We have 2 Masters players on our team as well. You know, they're quite talented players. We've played against other Masters players. They're obviously, you know, to get that rank, you have to be fairly proficient at the game. That being said, both of their Masters players are almost exclusively one-trick players. The Riven and the Skarner for our first 2 bans. So even though they're really high-level players, we're hoping to put them off comfort and force them to play a little bit out of their comfort zone, see how they respond to that type of pressure. So this game 1 is going to be very diagnostic. If game 1 is a roll for us, we know we've done the right thing. If it's not, we've got to go back to the drawing board and assess our strategy a little bit.
Gotcha. Now, without further ado, we can hear in the background, game is about to get underway. So, Zeddy, thank you once again for your insight. We will see you at the beginning of game number 2.
Thanks for having me.
Let's hop on into it now, as we do have the draft again, apparently. Good old bugs. Anyway, we're hopping right back into it. Game number 1 now underway. We do have on the red side, it'll be St. Clair. Don't get baited by my overlays. There we go, as we see Lazy and Mansfield right there. Of course, in the blue, we do have Binghamton University. Let's get into action.
And it's going to be the startup as normal. They're going to have both junglers on the top to get that deep ward in. It's likely going to be a blue star for both, I believe. I don't think this Trundle has placed his ward yet. He does not, so he's just going to rotate down to this red buff, try and get a ward most likely where Mianso's sitting, and then clear his red upwards to meet most likely Active Force at that 315 mark for the top scuttle.
And looks like it's going to be nice and quiet. Of course, this is going to be one of the lanes that we're going to be definitely paying attention to as this game goes on, as Frez on the Renekton. As we heard Coach Steady said, this isn't a pick at all that they practice in the slightest. This is more of a, like, Frez has this in his back pocket and the team's going to trust him on it. So looking forward to seeing how this goes, considering as well, like I was saying before, other than Fizz, I really don't think Frez was playing very many melee champions here in the mid lane, so be something a little bit different to look forward to seeing.
Yeah, usually you see Frez on those mages with more
almost
range
always.
and utility. Yeah, I believe 9 out of 10 games you'd see him on a mage, maybe the random melee champ, but it's usually that Orianna, the Ziggs, maybe even Syndra over here and there, but it's going to be a little engaging on the bot lane as they hit level 2 first. Mianso taking a lot of damage. He has a flash, gets the heal. It's going to be Darkness Jack's flash gets the auto attack, but the Guardian proccing and canceling that out. Mianso's going to get away with his life, just barely.
Okay, so that's a massive red flag now on the side of Binghamton, because this is when you call in Active Force, right? Like, okay, your your opposing bot laner blew his flash. He should be an absolute sitting duck. There's not a whole heck of a lot in terms of mobility for Kai'Sa early on. Of course, does have that like very small like movement speed boost, but even then, that isn't going to stop like a flash snowball or something like that. So we'll have to see if Active Force eventually makes the trip down bot lane to try and boost Lazy and Mansfo's scaling into the late game.
Yeah, and interesting that not Miansfo, Active Force, he started that red start still and did go down to this bot scuttle right now. Booper taking a lot of damage here. He may just get 1v1. Has to burn the flash. Having a pretty rough lane from the looks of it against this Ornn. Not doing too well, but Trundle taking his blue buff at top, so they're gonna get the scuttle, and looks like since the bot lane is shoving in now, that Active Force is not able to get much out of it, so he's just gonna take a reset while Mianso gets some deep wards, but looking at actually, he's taking the snowball mid lane while Frez rotates. It burned the flash on the Yasuo to save his life. It's away for the back.
Well, we're actually seeing this counter pick come to fruition, at least to start things off here. Black Armored, every time he tries to dive in, exactly what Zeddy was saying, that point and click CC shuts him down in his track. Slice and dice, call the meek, and you've got yourself a nice little wombo combo of death, bringing Black Armored down to about a quarter of his health. So very, very tough lane coming up here for Black Armored, and I don't necessarily blame him for, like, picking this champion, but hang on a second. Up in the top lane, we do see Active Force making a trip to try and boost up Kubra a little bit. Exile flashes away, not going to quite find it. Barely less than a quarter HP. Exile going to get out with his life.
Yeah, it's really unlucky on the side of St. Clair, just burning all of these flashes, not getting any kills from them, but little Kubra with a preemptive grab there, but wasn't able to find anything. Great E combo from the Lazi there, but he's going to get flashed by Chumami. Chumami? Oh, I think that's what we said we're going to go with, and
I like to think
it's going to be
Shamui.
Shamui, yeah.
I like to think that they're having a whale of a time in this bot lane.
Yeah, for Zeddy was talking in that coach's corner. He's saying it's a pretty safe bot lane with this Vayne and Rakan with all the mobility, but it just seems like they're getting really punished for being in this lane, essentially. Trying to push up this CS. As you can see, Lazi is down roughly about 9 CS, but he's going to even it out with this entire wave here.
Nancy and Manso basically spoon feeding these CSs, so they'll
Yeah.
bring them right back to even, like you're saying. So a Vayne going even is a Vayne winning, at least in my heart.
Yeah, and she still has one of the biggest engages if they ever do have Trundle come down and rel engages. So they burn both their summoners down that bot lane on the side of Binghamton. So if anything does actually come out with Trundle coming down, it's going to be up to a really good engage from them to find them at an awkward angle. Red's doing a good job actually in this lane, having about a 10 CS lead over Black Armored.
Has the level advantage too, so like until just that second. Commentator's curse, welcome back. It's been a long time.
Well, I would say he still have a level advantage over XP wise. He'll most likely hit that level 7 before Yasuo and still keep a certain amount over him, but had a lot of prio in this lane, just keeping this Yasuo from being able to roam anywhere, just starting a tower. But it's gonna be X-Burst maybe getting caught here by Exile and
Nailed it.
Metal Hydra, but he's gonna flash. Exile flashing after him with the side of Metal Hydra. It's actually just gonna be a full-out brawl. Both support and mid lane are roaming up as well, just leaving both AD carries down there. But in the end, everyone's just gonna back away, burning both junglers' flashes, and no first blood in the first 7 minutes.
A very quiet start to this game. Of course, Saints like barely with a gold lead to start things off, especially due to that. I feel like that mid lane advantage with Frez being up just a little bit. Now we get to see Darkness Jax getting himself jumped on here, but Shamui is right around the corner. Jax going to hang on by a thread, but we do actually have a gank happening here in the mid lane as well, and that's going to be first blood. Black Armored, not long for this world, takes him down, and we do have a bit of a trade down the bot lane where it's AD carry for AD carry, and Mienso, I don't think he wins this. He's got to run for the hills. Shamui on hot pursuit, but Active Force, after making the gank in mid lane, was trying to assist Mienso as best as possible. And now he gets to go look and possibly take a dragon as Frez gets himself some tower plates.
Yeah, it looks like the Trundle's going to go for that mid lane, but he may actually scout out with the Scribes Boom that they're on this drag. Luckily for him, he's a Nunu, so he can just Q-Chomp Smite. Mansfo keeping him away. Good peel from Mansfo there. But it's actually maybe the Trundle getting in a bad spot. Frez flashing there with the TP coming in from Exile. Cooper does not have a ward. Actually, he does. He does have a ward. He's coming in with the TP to flank, but maybe too late. A 3-man ultimate coming in from the side of Binghamton. This is going to be a wipe for them. Unless St. Clair can turn this around somehow. Darkness Jax coming in with the Kaisa. Lazi may find himself in a tight spot, but it's actually with Cooper flashing in on top of them. he's going to go on Jack, Darkness Jack's having that level advantage. It's going to be a double kill. Make that 3 for 0. Make that
Wow.
4 for nothing. That's going to be St. Clair cleaning this up perfectly.
Was that a delayed ace?
I believe so, yes. I think they killed Yasuo unless he got away 1 HP, but was looking pretty grim at the start. Frez flashing in pretty deep and have the TP from Exile on top, and Kubra delayed TPing. Hit a massive Ornn ulti there, but sadly they did not have the AD carry, and he was that 1 level down versus Lazi's Vayne, so he did not have a way in, and sadly just could not clean up anything, and it turned into a 4 for nothing.
Then, like, during that first initial skirmish too, like, Lassie was keeping himself rather safe, just poking away from the outside. And then, of course, Frez, he can heal himself up mid-fight, and I think so can the Mordekaiser from Kubra as well, just ever so slightly. So as soon as they found themselves the opportunity, I like the call to make that re-engage, and then they found the targets that they needed to. Nobody could touch Lassie, and then just everybody got melted, and I think actually Kubra came out the biggest winner in all that, finding himself 3.
Yeah, it was a huge flash in. He knew that they could win that fight there, so he just flashed straight in the middle, and he's gonna take a bit of damage up in the top lane, but it's gonna be an even trade.
Oh, he's gotta watch
Still
out.
down about, yeah, still about 20 CS down in this lane versus the Ornn, but not a huge deficit when you're 3-0 on a Mordekaiser. Frez getting this turret plate really low, and if they look for Herald here, which looks like Active Force may be on his way to do, they could take this as a first tower. And like you see, Active Force already the first one to finish his Sunfire Cape, actually, having about 97% net kill participation, only missing 1, which was the bot lane kill of Miansfo.
Absolutely now, and it is going to actually be Active Force. He is looking towards that Herald, and even though I think they had the Scuttler down, I don't think there's going to be an answer unless Metal Hydra is trying to think of something right here, right now. Actually, yeah, we could have ourselves a skirmish for this Hydra, but hang on a second, actually it does end, or Herald rather. It's going to be Exile getting jumped on first, and here comes Frez, going to stun up Metal Hydra, takes him down, and so does Exile. Kubra going to find one. They got 2 plus a Herald. Holy smokes, profit.
Yeah, and Yasuo may be next on target. He's pretty pushed up here and running straight into Laz. He's just going to get pushed into that wall, instantly knocked up. He does have his Q, but I don't think that's enough. Laz is just going to take him down. Yeah, a really overextension there from Black Armored, knowing that they just lost 2 people to that 4-man up in top river. And it's going to be first tower going down here mid lane.
That's definitely a frustrating one for Binghamton. You look at that bot lane, you see there's nobody home. So you have to assume that if a skirmish was happening in the river, that they might be transitioning over. As we see Frez literally 1v1ing Hydra like it's nobody's business. Frez is absolutely ferocious on this Gator.
Yeah, you could see that Metal Hydra really just wanting to stop that Herald from hitting a second charge, but I think he overcommitted to it, and Frez just free hitting him the entire time with the entire minion wave there. So unlucky for Metal, but Frez just finishing his Eclipse now and looking really strong as his lane opponent is not doing so well anymore.
Yeah, Frez just looks absolutely so comfortable in this matchup, and the fact that he gets to take Ignite over Teleport must just be that extra little added aggression that must be absolutely feeding off of so far here in this game, starting off 2-1 and 2. And of course ahead in his lane, but we're now going to see Miansfo maybe getting a little bit cut out. Not too bad, however. As he's going to chip away with a little bit of extra damage back. Those silver bolts hurt like hell, don't they? Shamui really taking a good chunk.
Yeah, and being a Rel in your non-armored form really just, it hurts a lot because you're just going to take so much damage as you have barely any armor. And Lazi doing a lot of damage while Exile takes about half his health bar to Kubra. Kubra seeming to find his footing in this lane finally, catching up in CS, only about 10 CS down. And having that 4-0 score with...
Oh, they're going for it.
Actually, it's going to be Shamui going in with the Yasuo, but Lazi be able to kite it out with Miansfo.
They could turn it again.
It's going to be Active Force getting stopped by the pillar, unlucky, but Shamui may just be the sacrificial lamb, and that's going to be a 1-for-0 after such a good engage from the side of Binghamton.
Yeah, Yeah, they tried to blow up Mansfield, could not get it done, and the rest of the Saints come here to turn this. This is going to be the second Dragon in their favor. Looks like we're taking it down right here. Right now, Mountain Drake going to be uncontested. Clean that up nice and quick. And then, where next do we go? We just had a party time bot lane. Are we going back to mid?
Yeah, it seemed like a really good engage on the side. You're also roaming from straight from base to mid or bot lane, and having the Rel flash knock up engage, getting the Yasuo ulti set off, but just not enough burst damage from the side of Binghamton. And Mianspo and Lazzy are able to peel it off, and Active Force and Frez just there to back up the play.
Exactly, like I said, just not enough burst damage. The fact that they're so far behind, even if they do manage to get themselves a sick pick, they just tickle and they leave them with like half health or a quarter health. They get the run away, and then you just get turned on. And it's definitely a feels bad moment here for Binghamton when that does happen. We did see Black Armored got the nice setup there, but now, hang on a second, as Shamui gets caught in the jungle. Not going to be long for this world. One more shot. Give it over on to Lazzy. That's number 4 on the game.
And that engaging that bot lane, I like to talk about. Actually, there's going to be a little skirmish up in this top lane. We're getting poked out. He's going to find the pullback onto them, but may have actually been more than he could take. Going to have to take the reset here. Yeah, the point I was going to make about this bot lane, that could have been way worse, and it could have been a 3-for-0 on the side of St. Clair, but Metal Hydra got the pillar down and caught Active Force with Snowball there. And it's going to be a flash engage from Mansfield here. Insta shoot into the wall. Lazzy just deletes him off the map as Active Force and Frez take away this blue buff from Metal Hydra right in his face. It's going to be another tower going in favor of St. Clair.
Just absolutely brutal play coming out here from every lane. And the jungle, if you include that as a lane as well, for the Saints. We do see ourselves another engage. Frez right in the middle of things, as it was Active Force who got caught on Empire in the bush and absolutely destroys them. Beautifully done there from St. Clair. Active Force gets a double. This Nunu is unstoppable. Gotta love to see it.
That's one of those feel bad moments. You put him down, he's like, okay guys, he's out of the fight, we can win this, and then you just get scooped into slowness, and you just know it's gonna be a dead fight at that point. It's 20 kills in 16 minutes, 17 of them going to St. Clair. Find themselves the 3rd tower in this mid lane. This is just looking like a complete stomp on the side of St. Clair. Almost 10k gold up actually. A little buff transfer here for Lazzy. Gonna actually take both wraps and red buff. And Herald spawning in about 35 seconds, so St. Clair's gonna take a reset here. Hoover's most likely gonna go to that bot side to shove in and get control for the drag that's gonna be spawning in about 2 minutes, but has the TP to help the team in that river fight if he needs to.
That absolutely threw me off. With the way this game was going, it's like, okay, yeah, there's so many kills on the board. I guess I can go set up for a Baron. And then you said Herald, and it's like, wait a minute, yeah, you're right. It's only 16 minutes in. The fact that there's been this many kills so far in the favor of St. Clair, so many towers down, and so much map control, this is an absolute clinic here for the Saints to start things off. And gonna get this top tower, maybe move over to our Herald, and then shove it down onto maybe mid lane, try and get yourselves an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and I think 10k over your opposing team in 17 minutes is just crazy to think about. You have full control of this game. You have every drag, every tower only giving away 3 kills, and getting yourselves the 2nd Herald, which either they use in that mid lane or they pressure for that top tier 2. But Cooper's gonna be roaming up, I believe, to this mid lane as they prep for the dragon about 1 minute. They just farming himself up. Good on Darkness to actually keep up in that CS though. For being so far behind, he's keeping pretty well in the CS compared to Lazzy. Actually dead even now. And it's just up to really Darkness to find that angles into these fights, get the huge shutdowns, and help his team come back into this game.
I mean, if they could somehow land a wombo combo of sorts onto Lazzy and then feed that kill over to Darkness Jax, that very well could be a turning point. But that is a lot of things that have to go right, and they're going to focus their eyes onto Kubra. And they are going to stun lock him at least a little bit here. He's going to be running for the turret, which is still standing with over 3/4 health. It just goes to show, I'm thinking that he's going to have to take the long run all the way down to maybe like tier 2. Never mind, not the case in the slightest, and Saints might be looking for a re-engage or just setting up for when Dragon shows up. Here it is.
Yeah, and this is on the side of Binghamton. They wasted 3 of their big teamfight ultis, so they just took the reset and they're just gonna have to see this 3rd drag over to St. Clair, putting them on that sole point.
Yeah, right around the corner, no 4 glory shots coming out of anybody. I don't think really anybody could have done it, so yeah, sole point right around the corner there for St. Clair, and could possibly have ourselves a battle with the chickens if Metal Hydra isn't careful. Just every little bit of resources is just being gobbled up here by the Saints, and Binghamton having a hard time trying to find their footing here in game number 1.
Yeah, Binghamton's having themselves the best game. Good on Hydra to have these really good pillars to keep himself alive from the snowballs that are just going to impale him and basically signal his death. But as the minions die here, they're going to get the tier 2 tower in the bot lane. So with this Herald still on active force, they're most likely going to be looking in the next probably minute and a half that's left on it for that top tower, unless they get a wild ace or 4-man and just open up that mid lane inhib.
Yeah, they got to put it down sometime soon, though, because like you said, I think there's only like a minute or so left on it. Would hate for them to delay it and then Active Force accidentally get taken out. And we'll have to see. Actually, hang on to that. Shamui going on in, and Lassie is just going to absolutely melt them. This is going to be a huge absolute zero alongside a massive knock-up coming out, but it is going to be Active Force going down. They may have found the jump onto Lassie finally. It is going to be the kill over to Metal Hydra, and now Frez has arrived, but he's a little bit late to the party. How fed is this Gator? He's going towards Metal Hydra, takes him down. Can he turn this around by himself? Mansfo is still there in the background. He's probably going to keep himself safe, but in this entire time, Kubra, like that, he was all the way up in the top lane, found himself a turret, and yes, that fight went a little bit into the favor. Actually, no, that was like 2 for 2. I do believe.
That was a 2 for 3. It was a 2 for 3. Lassie. I know it was a 2 for 2. Yeah, Mianfo did not go down.
Yeah, 2 for 2, and then we got the turret up top. So even then, like that's still in theory a win, but at the same time, you did get some shutdowns. You got the shutdown finally on both. I think it was Lassie and Active Force. So it's a good start.
Yeah, they didn't go on to the Kai'Sa League wanted. I believe it was Trundle did get the shutdown on Vayne, but Rel did pick it up on Nunu. I'm a bit, I feel like they possibly may have gotten a bit more of it, which could have turned if Kubra did TP down, but he opted to commit for that top tower instead. They probably thought they could win that, getting the 2 kills at the start, and it's just gonna be actually St. Clair going out his Baron right in the first minute and a half that it's up. And Trundle's going for a reset here, so they just have complete control over it. Lassie rotating, do some extra damage, and I believe this is going to be a free Baron for the side of St. Clair.
Yep, either there's no vision on it, or they just straight up don't care at this point here, as it's going to be smited down by Active Force. Baroned up St. Clair's squad, looking to do some damage. And Shelly has actually entered the fight too, was dropped all the way down by the...
that's unfortunate.
yeah, gonna get shut down there, so a solid job there from Exile.
Oh no, it still hit the tower there. You can see the damage at the bottom of the minimap. He hit the second eye, but it wasn't enough to kill it, so unlucky for Exile. And St. Clair having that massive amount of damage on the bot tower, gonna easily shove this top lane in. Just gonna pressure with those Baron creeps, and
Horn, here we go.
Getting a little sketchy here as he gets completely CC trained, and he's gonna get picked off by the Rel, unfortunately. Another huge shutdown going over the support, while St. Clair actually just takes his top tower for free.
You kind of got to shut it down right here, however.
It's gonna be Active Force going straight in. Absolute Zero going in, but not doing much damage. Darkness doing all the damage he can. Lassie picking off Rel. It's gonna be Black Armor in the backline, but he just gets pinched against a wall.
Oh my gosh.
Lassie pick up a triple, make it possibly a quadra if he gets this. Yeah, it's gonna be the quadra kill. Could this just be a back-to-back penta from Thursday as well? And they're looking for this horn. Jans was trying to set it up for him, but I don't think Lassie wants it that badly. Actually,
no, they got it
for this. It's going to be
Penta!
Penta kill. There it is. He sacrificed himself for that Penta kill. Lassie, 3 this season. He's just unstoppable.
Absolutely insane there. Lassie going to be able to clean that one up again, and was just able to get around and out-kite, I think it was especially Black Armored there in that last fight, and Darkness Jax. Like, Black Armored dove in onto him on the Yasuo, just condemned him right into the wall, was able to take him down. Then focused over to Darkness Jax. That's a one-on-one that Lassie is going to win every time, especially with how fed he is right here, right now. And Miensvo, the unsung hero, I think, here in this in that team fight, in the last couple team fights actually, as he's found so many 3-player knockups and 3-player like charms and stuns and whatnot, that Saints can do exactly what they want when they want in these team fights without any contest. Shamui is not going to be long for this world. Frez going to pick that one up after getting scooped from outside. Nice little cheeky play from Kubra. And this just keeps going worse and worse for Binghamton.
Shamui shouldn't even be there in the first place, to be honest. They know that they're going to be taking that soul instantly, and... Oh, no, Frez. Oh, okay. He got a little risky. I know he's going to get his back canceled by the Krug, but... yeah, Shamui shouldn't... I don't think Shamui should even be there in the first place, to be honest. You know they're on that drag, they have 5 people there, and your entire team's just clearing Mega Minions in your base. Just overextending for this one random ward in drag that you already know that they're on.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit questionable. If you're going to at least try to make that steal, you try to make that play with your jungler. But hang on a second. They're going to go for the 4 Glory attempt here, and they're going to jump right onto Lassie. They actually pop the bot lane right away. Huge play there for Darkness Jax. But there's still a lot of damage here on this squad. Triple goes over to Darkness. Can he return the favor with the pentakill for himself? He is getting stunned out, however. Has to watch out for Kubra. Kubra gets himself a double. Can he turn this around for a penta for himself? That would have been absolutely nutty, but now this ends up being a 3-for-3, I believe. In fact, they might be able to get themselves a little bit more because Super Minions, they're on the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, that fight just looking really good for the side of Binghamton, but it's looking like St. Clair may just actually get the end here. Exile being out with the charge. They're going to get both Nexus turrets here. Cooper doing massive amounts of damage, but he's actually just going to stick to him, or Nexus, my mistake. Exile trying his best, but in the end, St. Clair is just going to back their way out. Actually, Exile going down to Cooper's passive, going legendary, 806 on this Mordekaiser, just putting on a show. Black Armor chasing him down, does the flash knockup, which fails the combo, still hits the knockup. There's going to be 2 going up in the air for
Manswell's coming.
There's going back in. Yeah, Manswell's in the distance. Actually, Cooper's just way too tanky to go down. Black Armor just getting caught out on his own engage, and this may just be the game ending as St. Clair just runs it back down mid and cracks that 3rd inhib. Here comes the snowball, double knockup, make that a triple knockup. And it's just gonna be dark. Jax going down alongside Shamui. That's just gonna be game 1 going for the side of St. Clair, a dominating victory.
Holy moly, what a game. Let's throw it back to us here for just a moment. That was dominating from essentially the get-go, and especially even that last little fight there. As soon they had a 3-on-2 on the tank line, and even the tank line had a stupid amount of damage. But I guess that's just excuse me, that's just the perk of going with more bruiser-styled tanks here, having the Mordekaiser, having the Renekton, who can both do a little bit of decent damage for themselves as well. And they were able to hold on long enough. Miensvo comes in for the save, essentially knocking everybody up, giving a couple extra heals and shields, I believe, as well. And turns that one right around. Lassie and I think it was Lassie and Active Force. They were still on their way back, but it did not matter. They were able to turn against the respawning Binghamton squad. And I think Zeddy probably said it best during Coach's Corner, where he said, I think we just straight up outdrafted them. Yeah. It definitely felt that way, to say the least.
Yeah, you have a Vayne into 2 tanks, Act 3 if you count the Rel in her armored form. But she just shred through everyone. Lassie picking himself up that 3rd pentakill of the season. Just having himself such an incredible time here. 13-4 on that Vayne. A flawless game for Cooper in that top lane. 8-0-9.
Wow.
Frez doing himself some good work in that mid lane, kept that Yasuo under pressure, making him 1-7. Frez going that 6-2. And the unspoken hero, like you said, in Miensvo and Active Force, just 2-2-19 on Miensvo's Rakan and 4-3-21 on that Nunu.
I mean, I feel bad there for Black Armored. In that matchup, he was basically a paperweight. Like, too squishy to get anything done and didn't have enough damage to do anything done. He was basically an ultimate. And
Yeah.
the ultimate wasn't even for damage. It was for the extra little hang time that you give them when they're airborne. But even then, Darkness Jax nearly had an opportunity to pop off, though. He did get himself the triple. But again, just the tank line from St. Clair still dealt too much damage. So there's not much that Darkness could do. Tried his best, but could not make it happen.
Yeah, I saw when that fight came out. You saw that. Yeah, Darkness had that 3K coming out. He went back into the backline to hit me Ansfo, and it just seemed like such a good fight for them. I thought they took out Cooper already, but Cooper is actually just in the middle of everyone. They're just piling on top of him. He just comes out of the entire fight full HP, just his passive shredding that max HP, and Fred's coming out of the GA, just both of them just shredding everyone, and such a dominating victory overall.
Well, I mean, if this was lost in Champ Select, Binghamton can definitely make adjustments moving forward. They're going to have to see if they can come back here in Game 2, come out swinging, because, like I said in countless streams here on the Saints channel, as much as I love seeing our hometown squad win, I want to see a good match. Binghamton, we get to see if they can come on back here for game number 2 momentarily. We're going to take about 5 minutes to get this lobby set up, and we'll be back into game number 2 between Binghamton University and St. Clair College.